All right, we've got the giant crab boss spaceship, I believe, functioning the way it should. Let's test it out again and just see where we're at with this. It moves back and forth like we want it to and shoots at us, and then it drops down and spawns a squid. Very good. And then it repeats. And we can, oh, got me. We can destroy its launchers. Good. It's better than me. And then at this point, we want to be able to have it take damage so that we can destroy it. But that's not working. So that's what we got to do next is after these guys have been destroyed, after the launch has been destroyed, now we want to enable taking damage on the crab itself. So let's look at that game object here. Boss. It's got the rigid body on it, and it's got the collider. It's set as a trigger. It's not tagged as an enemy, so the lasers aren't registering collisions with it. So let's tag the crab boss mesh object that has the collider on it as an enemy. And I guess we can go ahead and tag the parent as an enemy as well. But I think it's this one that matters because that's where the collider is. So now the lasers should hit it. But as far as it taking damage, we got to look at the script for it. This crab boss controller script. We've given it a health value, but I don't think we have any code to detect that it's been hit by lasers. And also we want to code that so that it will only reduce its own health if the launchers have already been destroyed. So we need it to check to see how many launchers are still alive. And we can do that by counting the number of launcher controller scripts that are attached to it in its children. And I think that would be the best way to do that. So yeah, let's look at that code. If we go to our scripts and we want to go to our crab boss script. All right, we want to add code for that collision detection. Got the update right here. Let's add another method after the update method, so after that curly brace, but inside of the class still, so before this final curly brace down there. And let's write the private void on trigger enter method. Here we go. Parameter other is a collider, and we want to detect collisions with with a laser. So let's do an if statement and check the tag on the other object we collided with. So if other dot game object dot compare tag, and see if it is a laser that hit us. I don't know why, but every time I say the word laser, I think of Dr. Evil from that silly movie. So if we hit a laser, or a laser hit us, now we want to check to see should we take damage, meaning do we have any launchers left. So let's do an if statement and see if we can check for the number of launchers. And I think the method that we want is get components, plural, in children. And then the component that we want to get is a launcher controller. And so this method, get components in children, will check all of the objects attached to this object as a child and look for these components. In this case, the component we're looking for is our launcher controller script, because we know each of the launchers have one attached to it. And then because we put the plural version, get components plural, it will find all of them and put them into a list. And then we can check how many there are by checking the length of that list. So we can now at the end here put dot length, and only if the length is equal to 0 should we take damage. So here we're going to subtract 1 from our health, minus minus. And this is also if we were going to spawn a death effect of some kind. I don't know that we put one on here yet. We haven't created one, so we'll skip that for now. Or we would need to check first if our health reaches 0, and then if it has, then we would spawn the death effect. So we could go ahead right here now that we subtract 1 from health and see if that was our last health. So if health is now equal to 0, we need to destroy this game object. Destroy game object. And like I said, we would also do any effects, sound effects or whatever that we want at this point right here as well. And then destroying this object, the spawn manager wave spawner should realize that there's no enemies left and that the wave is over, and thus the game is over, unless there's still some squid flying around, which I guess we could, if you destroy the boss, we could then destroy any squid that are left, or just make the player have to destroy the squid as well. That's the easiest thing to do. So let's try that. Let's see if we save this and go back here. Now I've disabled the wave spawner, so I don't know that it'll detect that the wave is over, but let's see if the boss takes damage only after the launchers are destroyed, and if it gets destroyed after its health goes to 0. So I'll select the boss so we can take a look at its health while it's playing right there, and see if this works. I'm not gonna make it. There you go. Okay. It did in fact work. Awesome. So now what we need to do is turn this boss into a prefab. So we'll go to our prefab folder, to our aliens, prefabs, and grab the boss and drag it down here, turn it into a prefab. Very good. And we can delete the one that's in the scene after it's a prefab. And now we need to construct the wave for this. Actually, maybe I didn't want to delete the one because we need to make that wave. Let's see. So for the final boss wave, maybe you should start with a boss and a couple of scorpions as well. I feel like there should be some scorpions behind the boss. So let's bring some scorpions into this scene as well. Move the boss down a little bit. Another scorpion here. 1. 2.3. Okay, sure. And 4. And we'll make this one 2.3. 4. Try to even it out a little bit. All right. 0, 1, 2. Now we'll make an empty game object to be the wave. Create empty. Let's call this boss wave. Boss wave. And then we're going to grab, select the boss and the 2 scorpions that are part of this wave, drag them onto the boss parent object, empty game object. And now we can turn this boss wave into a wave prefab. So we go to our pre-waves folder here and drag that down there. Now we can delete this. And we've got the 2 waves, which isn't very many, and the boss wave. And we go to our wave spawner. I'm going to re-enable it by reactivate it by checking the box next to its name up here. I'm going to add another element to our waves list here and drag in the boss wave as the 3rd and final wave. And now we can try to do a run through of the whole thing and see if this is working. Survive. Gotta wait till they go back up. Alright. Whoa! Okay, so the boss wave did not spawn properly. Alright, let's see what happened with that. So it's probably the position. Yeah, the position of the boss wave is not 0, 0, 0. So we need to fix that. Alright, you know what I might do is yeah, the positions are all funky. Alright, so let's set this to 0, 0, 0. And then let's reposition these. I think this was supposed to be 1, 4, and 0. And then this one, negative 2.3, 1, and negative 3? Is that what it was? Negative 4? Let's try that. Something's not right. Was it positive 4 maybe? Oh, it needs to be positive 3. Try to position it properly. 6. Okay, we'll try 6. And this one, we'll make it 2.3, 1, and 6. Okay, maybe that will work. Alright, let's try that and see. If I drag this prefab into the hierarchy, it should place it where it's going to spawn. Okay, so it's not quite right. Let's try fixing it. I guess we could just slide the whole thing down. Maybe 2. Negative 2. There we go. That looks good. All right, let's test that out. Delete that. See if I can make it to the boss wave again. Not doing so good. Still not quite right. Okay, I think the reason is when we spawn it, we're spawning it at 0, 0, 0. So instead of sliding this down negative 2, I think I gotta subtract 2 from each of these positions. So let's see. This would be 2. This would be 4, and this would be 4. Okay. It's kind of confusing. Gotta do a lot of play testing when you're developing your game, right? Yay, there we go. Okay. Happy life. I win, even though there was a squid. All right. That was interesting that the last squid must have been spawning at the same time as the other one was destroyed. I don't know, it was interesting that the last squid didn't have to be destroyed. But it seemed to be working, at least close enough. Like I said, there's always more things you could add or change. Definitely needs more than 2 waves before you get to the boss, so you know, we'll need to create some more waves in varying levels of difficulty. And there's a lot more polish and stuff that we could add to it, a lot more effects and stuff. But for this project, I think we're going to call it done. So if you can get it to this point and add a few more waves to it, then we're good to go. Awesome.